I want to talk about something so simple, yet so powerful, the art of waking up early. You see, success is not something that just happens overnight. It's a result of small, consistent choices. And one of the most powerful choices you can make is to rise early. When the world is quiet, when the sun is just stretching its arms across the sky, that is your moment. That is when you hear the voice of your dreams the loudest, not the noise of the world, but the whisper of your own soul. Successful people don't wake up early because they have to. They wake up early because they choose to honor themselves, their dreams, and their purpose. When you rise before the chaos of the day, you claim ownership of your time. You gift yourself the opportunity to dream, to plan, to grow uninterrupted. You create a space where there are no excuses, only possibilities. I often say, it's not the big moments that define us. It's the small habits, the quiet commitments we make when no one is watching. No one is watching. Waking up early is not about impressing anyone. It's about making a promise to yourself. I value my dreams enough to rise for them. It's in those early hours that the mind is fresh, creativity flows freely, and your heart can speak without fear. It's in those early moments that you can reflect, that you can nourish your body, your mind, your spirit. And yes, some mornings will be hard. You will want to stay under the warm comfort of your blanket. But remember, comfort never created change. Growth begins where comfort ends. Every time you wake up early, you are sending a message to the universe. I am ready. I am willing. I am committed. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to show up, day after day, sunrise after sunrise. And one day you will look back and realize it wasn't a miracle that got you here. It was your discipline. It was your faith. It was those countless early mornings stitched together with hope and resilience. Waking up early is more than just a habit. It is a conscious act of self-respect. It is a silent but powerful declaration that one's dreams, well-being, and growth are worthy of attention and effort. Choosing to rise before the world demands your energy is choosing to prioritize your own life and your own purpose first. It is a decision made not for the world's approval, but for personal integrity and honor. When the alarm rings in the early hours and the comfort of sleep calls to stay under the covers, it is easy to hit the snooze button. It is easy to say, just a little longer. But in those moments, a quiet battle is fought between comfort and commitment. Choosing to wake up early is choosing commitment. It is choosing to respect the promises made to oneself. Promises of building a better life, becoming stronger, and living intentionally. Self-respect is not always about grand gestures. Often, it shows up in the smallest moments. Rising early is one of those moments. It is a way of saying, I am worthy of my own time. My dreams are important enough to rise for. Every early morning chosen over the temptation of extra sleep builds a stronger foundation of trust within oneself. It strengthens the belief that one is capable, disciplined, and deserving of the life envisioned. The act of waking early sends a message not just to the world, but most importantly to one's own heart. I take my goals seriously. It is an internal affirmation that life is not happening by accident, but by design. One choice at a time. This consistency nurtures self-esteem, confidence, and a deeper sense of dignity. It becomes a personal ritual of empowerment. There is something deeply empowering about owning the first hours of the day. Before the emails flood in, before obligations pull from every direction, there is a window of pure ownership over time. In this space, one can set intentions, nourish the body and mind, and focus on what truly matters without interruption. It is a space created by respect for the gift of another day, respect for personal ambitions, and respect for the limited time each person is given on this earth. Waking up early is an act of rebellion against the culture of delay. It is choosing to face the day with purpose rather than letting the day dictate the turns. It is refusing to let life pass by in a blur of rushed mornings and reactive choices. Instead, it is stepping into the day with clarity, strength, and a sense of command. It is honoring the truth that every great achievement is built on countless, unseen moments of discipline and devotion. There are days, of course, when rising early feels heavy. Days when motivation is thin and the temptation to stay in bed is strong. But it is in these moments that waking up early becomes even more meaningful. It is easy to act when inspiration is high. It is extraordinary to act when it is not. By choosing to rise even when it is hard, one proves to oneself that self-respect is not conditional. It is unwavering. It is a commitment kept even when no one is watching. The benefits of waking early extend far beyond the morning hours. They ripple throughout the entire day. There is a quiet confidence that comes from knowing the day started on one's own terms. Decisions feel sharper, emotions are steadier, and challenges are met with a resilient spirit. The early investment pays off in the form of a life that feels more centered, more intentional, and more alive. Self-respect grows with every small promise kept. It grows with every early morning where the choice is made to honor one's time and one's dreams. Over weeks and months, this practice builds a life rooted not in chaos and regret, but in pride and purpose. A life where success is not an accident, but a natural result of living with intention. Ultimately, waking up early is a profound act of love. Love for the person you are and the person you are becoming. It is a gift given to the future self, a signal that says, I believe in you. What? I am willing to do the hard things for you. Every early morning is a stone laid in the foundation of a life of dignity, strength, and fulfillment. Choosing to rise early is choosing to rise into the best version of oneself. It is a sacred daily ritual of self-respect that transforms not just mornings but entire lives. Success is often imagined as a sudden, dramatic moment, a single leap that changes everything. But in reality, true success is rarely born from a single act. It is built quietly, patiently, through the accumulation of small habits practiced consistently over time. The most remarkable achievements are often the result of the smallest choices, repeated daily, until they transform into something extraordinary. Every big dream begins with a simple step. Every towering accomplishment is built one small brick at a time. It is easy to look at someone else's success and see only the highlight moments, the awards, the celebrations, the visible milestones. What often goes unseen are the thousands of quiet mornings, the countless hours of unnoticed effort, the tiny decisions made when no one else was watching. Small habits might seem insignificant on their own. Reading 10 pages of a book, writing for 15 minutes, exercising for 20 minutes, saving a small portion of income, waking up a little earlier. These actions may feel like they barely make a dent in the grand picture. But small does not mean unimportant. Like drops of water that eventually carve through stone, these habits hold a quiet power. They are the invisible forces shaping destiny. Consistency is the real secret. Anyone can make a massive effort once, driven by a burst of motivation. But motivation is fleeting. It rises and falls like the tide. What sustains progress is the steady rhythm of daily habits. When small actions are repeated day after day, they accumulate into momentum. Over time, they lead to skill, discipline, confidence, and ultimately, success. There is magic in the compounding effect of small habits. Just as money grows through the power of compound interest, personal growth, health, knowledge, and success grow through the consistent practice of tiny habits. Each repetition strengthens a skill, deepens a commitment, and builds a stronger version of oneself. Progress might be invisible at first, but it is happening beneath the surface, preparing for a breakthrough moment. Small habits also have the advantage of being sustainable. Grand, sweeping changes often collapse under their own weight. They demand too much too soon. And when life inevitably gets busy or challenging, they are the first to be abandoned. Small habits, on the other hand, fit naturally into daily life. They are manageable, adaptable, and easy to maintain even when circumstances are less than ideal. Building small habits also rewires the mind. Every time a positive action is taken, the brain receives a signal that says, "This is who I am." Over time, these signals build a new self-identity. A person who writes a little each day starts to see themselves as a writer. Someone who exercises regularly, even briefly, starts to view themselves as a healthy individual. Identity shifts slowly but powerfully through repeated actions, not through one-time efforts. Another beauty of small habits is how they naturally lead to bigger actions. Taking one small step often builds the momentum needed to take another. Writing for just 5 minutes often turns into 20. A short workout can spark the energy for a full exercise session. Starting small removes the heavy burden of perfection and allows growth to happen organically. Action leads to motivation, not the other way around. Success is not reserved for the lucky or the exceptionally talented. It is reserved for those willing to commit to the process, to show up even when the progress feels invisible. The small habits chosen today are laying the groundwork for the opportunities of tomorrow. Each moment spent investing in better habits is a moment investing in a brighter, stronger future. Stronger future. It is important to remember that even small habits require intentionality. They must be chosen wisely, aligned with deeper goals and values. They must be treated with the respect they deserve, for they are the architects of future success. No effort is too small. No action is wasted when it is building something meaningful. When looking back on life, it won't be the rare bursts of effort that made the biggest difference. It will be the quiet, consistent choices made day after day. The decision to rise early, to read, to move the body, to practice gratitude, to work diligently, these are the things that over time create extraordinary outcomes. Success is not an event, it is a habit. It is a habit. And every small habit, no matter how simple, is a seed planted in the soil of tomorrow's dreams. With patience, care, and persistence, those seeds grow into achievements larger and more beautiful than anything imagined at the beginning. There is a magic in the early hours that cannot be easily explained, but is deeply felt. When the world is still wrapped in quiet and the distractions of the day have yet to awaken, the mind finds a rare freedom. It stretches beyond its usual boundaries, exploring new ideas, uncovering hidden thoughts, and daring to dream bigger. In these precious moments, creativity blooms effortlessly, and the seeds of self-growth are planted and nurtured. Creativity thrives in silence. In a world constantly buzzing with noise, information, and expectations, true creative thought often struggles to surface. But in the soft light of dawn, when the mind is unburdened by the weight of obligations, inspiration flows more naturally. Ideas that seem just out of reach the day before suddenly become clear. Solutions to problems appear from corners of the mind that were previously blocked by the clutter of daily life. The early hours offer a clean canvas, and the mind, refreshed by rest, paints its boldest, most original strokes. Beyond creativity, the early morning is a time for reflection, a space where personal growth can be deeply nurtured. In the quiet, there is room for honest self-conversation, for evaluating where one stands and where one wants to go. Without the opinions or pressures of others clouding judgment, the early hours invite true introspection. This reflection is where growth begins, not in running from oneself, but in facing one's dreams, fears, and hopes with clarity and courage. The solitude of early mornings is a powerful tool for self-mastery. It is in these moments that goals can be reviewed, plans can be refined, and new aspirations can take root. Whether through journaling, meditation, reading, or simply sitting in thoughtful silence, the early hours offer a sacred opportunity to align actions with the person one strives to become. Growth does not happen by accident. It happens through conscious intention, and there is no better time to set that intention than when the world is still asleep. Creativity and growth are closely linked. To grow is to imagine a better version of oneself, and imagination is the essence of creativity. The early hours allow for both to dream without limitation and to ground those dreams in a plan of action. They offer the space to explore possibilities, to ask, what if? Without fear or judgment. In this exploration, new paths are discovered and new strengths are revealed. Starting the day with creativity and reflection also has a powerful ripple effect. Sets a tone of purpose and possibility that carries through the rest of the day. Challenges feel less daunting when the day begins from a place of inspiration. Difficult tasks seem more manageable when the mind has already tasted the sweetness of creation and growth in the early hours. It becomes easier to approach the day not as a series of obligations, but as a series of opportunities to express, to evolve, to contribute. Moreover, the early morning hours are often the only time truly owned by oneself. As the day progresses, demands from work, family, and society inevitably arise. But the early hours belong to the individual alone, untouched and pure. Choosing to use this time for creative pursuits and personal development is an act of self-respect and wisdom. It is an acknowledgement that one's inner world is just as important, if not more so, than the external demands of life. Fueling creativity and self-growth in the early morning does not require grand efforts. It can be as simple as writing a few lines in a journal, sketching out an idea, reading something inspiring, or setting a new goal. Small actions, taken consistently, build a momentum that transforms lives over time. Just as the sun slowly rises, casting light across the world, these small acts of creativity and reflection gradually illuminate new possibilities within. Ultimately, the early hours are a gift, a daily invitation to step into a deeper, richer experience of life. They are a reminder that beyond the rush and noise, there is a place where dreams can be heard, where ideas can take flight, and where true growth can begin. It is a sacred space where the best within can be nurtured and allowed to shine. Those who embrace the early hours know that while sleep offers rest, it is in waking early that the spirit finds renewal. It is in these moments that the soul speaks loudest, creativity dances most freely, and the journey of becoming one's highest self truly begins. There is a quiet strength that comes from rising early. It is not simply about shifting the hands of the clock, it is about shaping character. Early mornings teach lessons that no classroom, no book, no motivational speech can fully impart. They cultivate discipline and resilience, two of the most powerful tools for building a life of meaning and achievement. Discipline begins the moment the decision is made to rise, even when every fiber of the body longs to stay in bed. It begins with honoring a commitment made to oneself, even when comfort calls louder than ambition. Every morning offers a choice to submit to the fleeting desire for more sleep or to rise and greet the day with intention. Each time the harder choice is made, the muscles of discipline grow stronger. True discipline is not about grand declarations or dramatic efforts. It is about consistency. It is about showing up every day, especially on the days when it feels most difficult. Early mornings strip away excuses and distractions, leaving only the raw choice between action and inaction. In that choice, self-mastery is forged. It is not glamorous or easy, but it is transformational. Over time, these early choices accumulate into a deep-seated belief. I can do hard things. This belief is the essence of resilience. It is not born from easy victories, but from countless small battles won against resistance, against laziness, against doubt. Each early morning conquered becomes a badge of strength, a quiet reminder that challenges can be faced and overcome. Resilience is built not in moments of triumph, but in moments of struggle. It is born when the alarm sounds in the dark, and the easier path is resisted. It is strengthened when the weight of tiredness or discouragement is met not with surrender, but with steady action. Early mornings train the mind and spirit to persist, to push through discomfort, and to trust in the process even when immediate results are invisible. There is a profound satisfaction that comes from starting the day on one's own terms. It sets a tone of ownership and control that carries through the hours that follow. Having already conquered the first challenge of the day, other obstacles feel smaller, more manageable. The world may be unpredictable, but the choice to rise and act remains firmly within one's power. Early mornings also provide a unique mental space that nurtures discipline. Without the immediate demands of others, there is room to focus deeply, to set intentions clearly, and to act deliberately. These moments offer the perfect environment to practice the habits that matter most. Whether it is physical training, study, meditation, or creative work, in this solitude, self-discipline is not a burden, but a gift, an opportunity to invest in growth before the noise of the world begins. The resilience built through early mornings extends far beyond the hours before sunrise. It becomes a way of living, a way of facing adversity. Life inevitably presents challenges, unexpected setbacks, disappointments, losses. Those who have cultivated resilience through daily discipline are better prepared to meet these challenges without crumbling. They have trained their minds to endure, to adapt, and to continue moving forward, even when the path is steep and uncertain. Discipline and the uncertain and resilience are closely connected. Discipline provides the structure and habits needed for success, while resilience provides the strength to sustain those efforts over time. Together, they create a foundation that is unshakable. Early mornings are a daily opportunity to reinforce this foundation, to choose growth over comfort, purpose over ease. Choosing to rise early is a quiet but powerful declaration that life will not be lived passively. It is a decision to meet each day with strength, to prepare the mind and body for whatever lies ahead. It is a practice of faith. Faith in one's ability to grow, to endure, to overcome. And as the days turn into weeks, and the weeks into years, the cumulative impact becomes undeniable. What starts as a simple habit evolves into a profound transformation. It becomes a way of being, disciplined, resilient, focused, and strong. The world rewards these qualities not instantly, but inevitably. Success, fulfillment, and inner peace are not accidents. They are the natural results of a life built upon small, consistent acts of strength. Early mornings are not about punishment or deprivation. They are about empowerment. They are about stepping into the day and into life with deliberate intention and unwavering strength. In every early rising, there is a silent, powerful message. I am ready. I am willing. I am strong. Life is filled with distractions, challenges, and countless demands that can easily pull us in many different directions. Whether it's societal expectations, personal ambitions, or the opinions of others, we are constantly faced with pressures that can cloud our true sense of purpose. However, when we take a step back and focus on what truly matters, we unlock a deeper sense of fulfillment and meaning. Embracing your purpose and aligning your actions with your core values is the key to living a life that feels intentional, impactful, and genuinely satisfying. One of the first steps in embracing your purpose is identifying what matters most to you. In a world that often encourages us to follow predefined paths or chase after external success, it's easy to lose sight of what brings us true joy and fulfillment. Our purpose is unique to us. It's the intersection of our passions, our values, and the impact we want to make in the world. Understanding what matters to us on a deep level requires introspection, self-awareness, and a willingness to let go of external pressures. By taking the time to reflect on our values, interests, and long-term goals, we can gain clarity on what truly aligns with who we are and what we want to contribute to the world. Once we have a clearer sense of our purpose, it becomes easier to focus on what truly matters. We can start to filter out distractions and redirect our energy toward the things that align with our values and long-term vision. This doesn't mean we have to completely disregard other aspects of our lives, but it means we prioritize our purpose over things that don't serve us or bring us joy. By focusing on what truly matters, we are able to live with greater intention, make decisions that are aligned with our goals, and feel more connected to the impact we want to create. Embracing your purpose also means learning to say no to things that don't align with your vision. We live in a culture that often praises busyness and productivity, and it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of doing everything for everyone. However, this constant juggling of responsibilities can leave us feeling overwhelmed and disconnected from our true purpose. Saying no is a powerful tool in reclaiming our time, energy, and focus that allows us to protect our peace and invest in the things that truly matter. Saying no isn't about being selfish. It's about protecting your purpose and ensuring that you have the bandwidth to focus on the things that align with your core values. Another essential aspect of embracing your purpose is learning to trust yourself and your instincts. Often, we are conditioned to seek approval or validation from others before taking action. This can lead to self-doubt and a lack of confidence in pursuing our own path. Trusting yourself means having faith in your own abilities, decisions, and intuition. Always. When you align your actions with your purpose, you are honoring your inner guidance, and this can lead to a deeper sense of fulfillment and confidence. Trusting yourself also means letting go of perfectionism and accepting that mistakes are part of the journey. But progress is not always linear, but every step forward is a step toward fulfilling your purpose. To truly embrace your purpose, it's also important to stay focused on the long-term vision rather than getting caught up in short-term gratification. In a world that constantly demands instant results, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. However, true fulfillment comes from long-term growth and impact, not from fleeting moments of success or external recognition. Embracing your purpose means staying committed to your journey, even when progress feels slow or difficult. It's about trusting the process and understanding that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. By keeping your focus on the bigger picture, you can navigate the ups and downs with resilience and determination, knowing that the hard work you put in today will pay off in the long run. Another critical element of embracing your purpose is learning to align your actions with your values. Our values serve as the compass that guides our decisions, actions, and relationships. When we act in alignment with our values, we feel a sense of integrity and authenticity that strengthens our connection to our purpose. On the other hand, when we compromise our values for the sake of external success or approval, we can feel disconnected, unfulfilled, and even lost. Embracing your purpose means staying true to your values, even when it's difficult or when others may not understand. It's about living in a way that reflects who you truly are, not who others want you to be. Focusing on what matters also means cultivating a mindset of gratitude and abundance. When we focus on our purpose, we tend to become more aware of the positive aspects of our lives, which can lead to greater satisfaction and fulfillment. Gratitude helps us stay grounded in the present moment and reminds us of the things we have rather than the things we lack. An abundant mindset encourages us to believe that there is enough room for everyone to succeed and that our success does not diminish the success of others. This mindset shift allows us to celebrate our achievements and those of others without fear or jealousy, and it opens us up to greater opportunities for collaboration and growth. Living with purpose and focusing on what matters also means making intentional choices about how we spend our time and energy. Our time is one of our most valuable resources, and how we choose to spend it directly impacts our ability to live in alignment with our purpose. Embracing your purpose requires prioritizing the activities, relationships, and experiences that align with your vision. This may mean letting go of commitments that no longer serve you, cutting out distractions, or making space for the things that bring you joy and fulfillment. By being intentional with our time, we ensure that we are investing in the things that truly matter and moving closer to the life we want to create. Another key element of embracing your purpose is the willingness to evolve and adapt. Life is not static, and our purpose may evolve over time as we grow and change. Being open to change allows us to continuously refine our vision and adjust our course as needed. It's important to remain flexible and adaptable on our journey, knowing that our purpose is not a fixed destination, but an ongoing process of growth and self-discovery. Embracing this fluidity enables us to remain connected to our true purpose, even as it evolves in response to new experiences and insights. Ultimately, embracing your purpose and focusing on what matters is about living a life that is aligned with your deepest values, passions, and goals. It's about making choices that bring you closer to the life you envision, staying committed to your long-term vision, and trusting yourself along the way. When you embrace your purpose, you free yourself from the distractions and pressures of external expectations, allowing you to live authentically and with intention. By focusing on what truly matters, you create a life that feels meaningful, fulfilling, and rich with purpose. Success is not reserved for the most talented, the most fortunate, or even the most intelligent. Success belongs to those who show up, not once, not occasionally, but consistently. Day after day, moment after moment, they choose to put in their effort, even when results seem distant and motivation fades. It is the power of consistent presence that turns small actions into extraordinary achievements. Showing up consistently builds trust, not just with the world, but with oneself. Every time an individual commits to their goals, even in the smallest way, they reinforce their own reliability. They send themselves a message that says, "I can be counted on. I am someone who follows through." Over time, this builds a deep inner confidence, a quiet strength that fuels even greater efforts. It is tempting to believe that success hinges on one major breakthrough, one life-changing opportunity. In reality, success is the sum of countless small efforts compounded over time. It is the accumulation of early mornings, late nights, steady work, and quiet sacrifices that most never see. Success is hidden in the moments when no applause is heard, no rewards are given, and no progress is obvious. Yet the choice is made to show up anyway. The consistency is often misunderstood as perfection. But true consistency is not about never failing or never faltering. It is about returning again and again. It is about showing up even after setbacks, even after mistakes, even after the enthusiasm of a new beginning has worn off. It is the resilience to continue the journey, one determined step at a time, that carves the path to success. There will always be days when showing up feels hard, days when energy is low, when doubt is high, when the vision feels too far away. But those are the days that matter most. Anyone can show up when it's easy, when the conditions are perfect, and the spirit is high. It is showing up when it's difficult that builds the character necessary to carry success with grace and strength. Consistency also creates momentum. Small actions repeated over time begin to gather energy. A few pages written each morning turn into a finished book. A few minutes of exercise each day lead to a healthy body. Small savings grow into financial freedom. Progress is not always visible in the beginning, but with enough repetition, it becomes unstoppable. The one who keeps showing up becomes the one who cannot be ignored. Moreover, consistency sharpens skills. Talent may give a head start, but mastery is forged through repetition. The artist becomes great by drawing every day. The athlete becomes strong by training every day. The leader becomes wise by learning and practicing every day. The repeated act of showing up, even in small ways, polishes raw potential into excellence. The success also requires showing up not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. It means being present with full attention, full effort, full heart. Half-hearted attempts do not build greatness. Engaging fully in the task, even when it seems mundane or repetitive, brings depth to the journey and ensures that every step forward is meaningful. The world often celebrates the end result, the championship, the promotion, the success story. But behind every celebrated success is a long, often unseen history of consistency. Of mornings spent practicing alone, of nights spent studying while others slept, of countless repetitions when no one was watching. Success is not a stroke of luck. It is a reflection of countless moments of discipline showing up. In the pursuit of any worthy goal, there will always be moments of doubt. The mind will whisper, is it worth it? Will it ever happen? In those moments, the answer is simple. Keep showing up. Because every time one shows up, even when it's hard, even when the results aren't immediate, they are placing another stone in the foundation of their future success. Those who achieve lasting success are not the ones who sprint once and stop. They are the ones who walk steadily, purposefully, day after day, without letting discouragement or distraction take them off course. They are the ones who understand that greatness is not found in a single act, but in the thousand small acts of perseverance. Success comes not to those who wait, but to those who work. Not to those who wish, but to those who show up. And by showing up consistently, with courage, with faith, with relentless determination, success becomes not just a possibility, but an eventual certainty. There is a special kind of silence that blankets the world in the early hours of the morning. It is a silence so profound that it feels almost sacred, untouched by the demands, distractions, and noise that the rest of the day inevitably brings. In these quiet moments, the mind finds a rare opportunity to breathe, to stretch, to reconnect with its own deepest thoughts. Clear mornings offer a clarity and peace that are difficult to find at any other time. When the sun is still below the horizon and the streets are empty, there is a stillness that calms the spirit. The air feels lighter and the heart beats at a gentler pace. It is in this calm that ideas begin to form with more sharpness, goals seem less overwhelming, and the world feels full of possibility. Without the constant buzzing of phones, the endless stream of emails, and the demands of countless responsibilities, the mind is free to think deeply and intentionally. This uncluttered space gives rise to creativity, reflection, and a sense of grounded purpose. In the early morning, the mind is not yet clouded by the opinions of others or the stresses of the day. It is a blank canvas, pure and receptive. Thoughts are clear, decisions are easier, and priorities become more obvious. The fog of doubts and fears that can accumulate during a busy day has not yet descended. Instead, there is a natural clarity that seems to whisper, "This is what matters most." In these moments, one can evaluate life with honesty and set intentions that are true to one's deepest values. Peace in the morning is not just the absence of noise. It is the presence of a deep internal calm. It is a feeling of being centered, of being connected to oneself in an authentic way. In this peaceful state, gratitude often comes more naturally. Looking out at the soft light of a new day, there is a simple yet profound appreciation for life itself. Problems seem smaller, opportunities seem larger, and hope feels more tangible. This peace fuels resilience, making it easier to face whatever challenges the day may bring. The beauty of early mornings also lies in the sense of control they provide. Before the world places its expectations on your shoulders, you have the chance to set your own tone for the day. You choose your thoughts, your actions, your energy. Whether it is through meditation, exercise, journaling, or simply sitting quietly with a cup of tea, these early rituals build a foundation of strength and positivity. They remind you that no matter how chaotic the day may become, you have already claimed a victory by choosing to honor yourself first. In a world that often demands that people rush from one task to the next, early mornings offer a secret pause. They are a chance to move slowly, intentionally, and thoughtfully. In these moments, ambition can be balanced with gratitude, drive can be tempered with reflection, and dreams can be nurtured with patience. It is a time to reconnect not just with goals and plans, but with the reason those goals matter in the first place. Many people find that their most creative and productive work happens in these early hours. Without interruptions, the mind can delve into complex problems, explore new ideas, and tap into inspiration that feels almost effortless. The peace of the morning allows for a kind of flow that is often elusive later in the day when distractions are everywhere. It becomes possible to make real progress, not just on tasks, but on dreams, on personal growth, on inner transformation. Ultimately, waking up early is a powerful act of self-respect. It is a way of saying, my dreams, my growth, and my peace matter enough to make space for them. It is an acknowledgement that life is too precious to be lived on autopilot, too beautiful to be rushed through without reflection. Each early morning is a new beginning, a fresh chance to align actions with intentions, to build a life that is not just busy, but meaningful. Meaningful. The peace and clarity of early mornings are gifts available to anyone who chooses to embrace them. They are not reserved for a special few. They are there for the taking, waiting silently before the world wakes up. In these moments, one can find a well of strength, a clarity of vision, and a profound sense of peace that carries through the entire day. And when one makes a habit of rising early to meet this peace, life itself begins to change in subtle, powerful, and lasting ways.